I'm fine. I'm okay. Ow. How's that for a smooth RCA fade? Hi there, kids. Stevie Coyle here. Webcasting from no, that's Fridays, isn't it? Webcasting from our super secret subterranean lair in the suburbs of Lafayette, California. No telling what goes on here, and you won't get it out of us. Nice to see you all. A few notes before we start. It's my birthday tomorrow. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes that are already appearing on the wall there. But I sort of had to freeze that so that folks could find this crawl. But thank you very much. It's not one of those big round ones or a 5. It's more than I've ever had before. I'll tell you that. I wish I knew the song. That for you next year. That'll be fine. Yes, I'm turning that big round number, apparently. Seems preposterous, but there it is. Wanted to mention, feel free to share this crawl, this feed, with your crawl. I shouldn't use the term crawl. Crawl is a side-to-side thing in television, isn't it? Your timeline. We used to call it a wall, but I think that's not hip anymore. Let's see, what am I playing this time? It's great to see you. Isn't this fun? You know, all things being equal, all things being different, we wouldn't be doing this probably. But this part is not so bad. There's lots of bad parts, but this part is not so bad. Being able to play music for each other is pretty okay. I realize too that it is 4:20. I never myself partook, except once. All that ever happened to me was, can you see all right? Can you see and hear everything loud enough and bright enough? And like I say, the visuals only get so good, but the sound could probably get better if it's a little too low or too high or whatever you think. And Miss Valerie is here to help me out. It was her birthday on the 11th, so we're celebrating a whole birthday month. Thank you very much. No gifts, please. 4:20, I never particularly partook. I tried mightily, because it seemed like everybody else was having a great time. But all that ever happened to me was I fell asleep and I woke up with a sore throat. So that wasn't a great expenditure of time or other people's money on trying to get me happy. Except this one time. And Brendan, if you're out there, thank you. I still remember it. This one time, it was called Thai Stick. I don't even know if that's still out there. I see it sometimes as somebody's handle on Facebook or Twitter or something. There's somebody Thai Stick 420 or something. But that was very nice. We listened to some great music, and I just sat there for God knows how long. It was really great. Thank you, Brendan, if you're still out there. Good heavens. Well, it's today, of course, as well as being 4:20, the day before my birthday, 9 days after Miss Valerie's birthday. Not like we're keeping count. It's Blur's Day. Well, happy Blur's Day. Who who knows what the hell day it is, except that I think it's Friday. I think I decided to do these things on Friday nights. Well, you know, we had some requests last time. And despite those, I'm going to play another song. And this one is one to get us all warmed up. So warm up with me on this one. It's a cowboy tune. It's in the key of E minor for those of you dancing. Did any of you catch Joel Baker's feed earlier at 6:30 Pacific time? Great singer-songwriter. He did his first webcast today, and for all you webcastaways looking for something fun to do, Joel Baker. Joe Bob says check him out. Joe Bob is the guy that used to say, Joe Bob says check it out. Remember him? Joe Bob Briggs? It's an old dude thing, and dudettes. I think I'm right. E minor, ready? Go. There is a kind of a cowboy song. There is a place I know, way down in Mexico, high in the old Sierra Madres, where many an outlaw band from across the Rio Grande have found a haven, a holdout, a hideaway. But danger rides with those who stray upon that secret hideaway, where death is sure to welcome anyone within the law. Most of you know this. But if a man must run from any lawman's gun, he'll find compadres in the old Sierra Madres. Deep in the dark of night, beside the campfire's light, they weave the tales of the lives of the bandits, of jewels rare and old, of coaches filled with gold, of holdups pulled off just like they planned it. Danger rides with those who stray upon that secret hideaway, where death is sure to welcome anyone within the law. But if a man must run from any lawman's gun, he'll find compadres in the old Sierra Madres. The dark of night, beside the campfire's light, they weave the tales of the lives of the bandits, of jewels rare and old, of coaches filled with gold, holdups pulled off just like they planned it. But danger rides with those who stray upon that secret hideaway, where death is sure to welcome anyone within the law. But if a man must run from any lawman's gun, he'll find compadres in the old Sierra Madres. That was weird. There is a place I know, way down in Mexico, high in the old Sierra Madres, where many an outlaw band from across the Rio Grande have found a hideaway. But danger rides with those who stray upon that secret hideaway, where death is sure to welcome anyone within the law. Here you go. But if a man must run, sing from any louder, please. Sing, damn it. I mean, feel free to sing. But if a man must run from any lawman's gun, he'll find compadres in the old Sierra Madre. Well, that took a strange turn, didn't it? Well, that's a song by Woody Paul Chrisman, King of the Cowboy Fiddlers, vastly better known as Woody Paul, the King of the Cowboy Fiddlers for a band called Riders in the Sky. And that's a cowboy song. They walk this fine line between parody and tribute, and what fantastic musicians as well, and deeply funny people, and great songwriters. And Paul Chrisman wrote that one. He was totally cool about that. When the band I was with, Menudo, recorded that years ago, we forgot to pay him. I forgot to pay him. We were setting up the first album. We recorded that song. And I realized we usually go through the Harry Fox agency at the time, a few years ago. You'd go through the Harry Fox agency to find out who you owe mechanical royalties to, and you just pay them. You know, there's no fuss, no muss. But for whatever reason, that song wasn't registered. And I plumb forgot. So years later, after we'd sold, several copies of that Devolver record, I got in touch with Woody Paul. And even in email, he was in character. I explained the situation. I said, we forgot to pay you. How do we do that? He said, partner, that's no problem at all. Don't worry. Things is good out here at the ranch. Why, there's ice in the icebox, and the light bulb in there still works too. So you take your time and pay us whenever you can. And he told me how to pay him. And we did. What a cool cat. They're just fantastic. If you ever get a chance to see Riders in the Sky, run, don't walk, as they say. That's a cowboy song. There's another one I want to do for you, and the special thing about this song is I don't know it, but I'm going to give it a shot because it's a great song, and I've heard it done by several people, lots of people. The songwriter might be online here. Blackie Farrell might be online. Fantastic song called Sonora's Death Row. I heard it from Leo Kottke, who did a somewhat truncated version of it that I'm going to probably do mostly of because that's kind of what's in my earballs. There are recordings, though, by Dave Alvin, by Tom Russell, by Michael Martin Murphy, by, tons of folks have recorded this song. If you don't know Blackie Farrell, you know Blackie Farrell, even if you don't know you know Blackie Farrell, because he wrote Mama Hated Diesels. And this song was also recorded by Bill Kirchen, who might be online here as well. Close personal friends of mine, you know. Great fellas all. So I'm going to get myself some little notes here and hope for the best on... Oh, hell. Let's try it this way. No, it's on this piece of paper, isn't it? I don't approve of this, by the way. You should know your songs, damn it. But rules made to be unruled. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do something kind of tricky on this one. I'd forgotten. This is kind of a cool trick. Guitar nerds like me, here's something that's kind of fun to do. If you have one of these capos that doesn't go all the way around like this one just kind of slides up and down. It's a little C-shaped thing with a clamp across the top. If you have one of these capos where you can be a little bit more selective about what strings you're going to capo, sorry, you non-guitar nerds, we'll be right with you. Clamp at the second fret, 5 strings from underneath. Leave that low string. So that still gives you, and I'm giving away all my secrets. I feel like that guy. Do you remember in the comic books back in the 50s and 60s? Of course you don't. Nobody's that old. But if you look on Google sometime and go, or the Wayback Machine, you'll find there were comic books that frequently had a 2-page spread across the back page. So one side was shiny and the other side wasn't. But it showed a very swarthy Asian gentleman standing stripped to the waist, bare-chested, with a black mask on, and very muscular gent, and standing like this, and saying the Kung Fu masters of the East would kill me if I revealed their secrets. But for $1.99, and you can pay in stamps, just send $1.99's worth of stamps to box something or other, and you'd learn all the secrets of the Kung Fu masters of the East. Well, I kind of feel like that guy, but this is a cool trick. This is too cool not to share. If you capo 5 strings down there, the cool thing about it is not only do you get the effect of a drop D tuning, but you also get to play all your regular chord shapes. How about that? Instead of a G up here, you get a G like that. So I have digressed and I will cease. Mezcal is free in Amanda's saloon for the boys from the old Broken O. Saturday nights in the town of Sonora are the best in all Mexico. They got guitars and trumpets and sweet senoritas who won't want to let you go. Who could believe such a happy town could have a street called Sonora's Death Row? Inside Amanda's, we were all dancing with some of Amanda's gals. I'd won some silver at 7th Cart Stud, so I was out doing my pals. But the whiskey and mezcal and peso cigars drove me outside for some air. Somebody whispered, your life or your money. I reached, but my gun wasn't there. I woke up face down in Amanda's back alley, aware of the fool I had been. Rushed to my pony and grabbed my Winchester and entered Amanda's again. And that's where I saw my partners twirling my pistols and throwing my money around. Blinded by anger, I jacked the lever and one of them fell to the ground. Amanda's got silent like night in the desert. My friend stared in pure disbelief. Amanda was kneeling beside the dead cowboy, plainly expressing her grief. And as I bowed my head, a tremble shot through me. My pistol was still at my side. I checked in my pockets, and there was my money. I fell to my knees and I cried. A nightmare in mezcal is all that it was. No one had robbed me at all. I wish I was dreaming the sound of the gallows they're testing just outside the wall. And the mezcal's still free in Amanda's saloon for the boys from the old Broken O. I'd pay a ransom to drink there today and be free of Sonora's death row. Yes, I'd pay a ransom to drink there today and be free of Sonora's death row. Oh, Yeah, exactly. Clap, 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 clap. Precisely. For Blackie Farrell. What a great song. And he's got a whole slew of great songs like that. Great songwriter. Check him out. Capital F, small a, small r, small e, small l. 2 R's, 2 L's, Blackie Farrell. One of those guys you know, I just didn't know you knew him. See, that's what I mean. Alrighty. Any questions or comments so far? Why, yes.
Talk about your guitar a little bit.
Talk about the guitar. We have some guitar nerds. Very good. This guitar was built by Ted Thompson and purchased by me. Well, no. Ted Thompson is one of 3 Thompson guitar makers that are out there. There is T.J. Thompson, Ted Thompson, and the Thompson from Sisters, Oregon. There's all kinds of Preston Thompson. There's all kinds of Thompsons out there. This one is Ted Thompson. It's nothing fancy. It's rosewood back and sides, which kind of surprised me because I thought I was a mahogany man. Rosewood back and sides, Indian rosewood, Sitka spruce top, cutaway that I rarely use. The only reason I got it is because I thought maybe I could perch a pint glass there, but it doesn't quite fit. Doggone it. And ebony fingerboard, bound fingerboard. How nerdy do you want to get? Not terribly. Good, good, good. This is the guitar I've been playing on stage for 20-odd years. It's not my alpha guitar. One of these times I'm going to bust out the Alan Perlman guitar, which is my alpha guitar. The Precious, I call it, with lots of S's. Ooh, the Precious. A tribute to Stahl guitars. Larson Brothers, back in the 1920s, built guitars for a company called Stahl, as well as for their own company, Prairie State, and Maurer, and all kinds of other places. Wow, we're nerding out again. How did you drag me into this? I'm nerding out again. I'm going to stop nerding for the non-guitar geeks in the audience. But was there another question? No, really?
Shadow on that side, very shadowy.
It's very shadowy on this side? Oh, why yes. That's my bad side. This is my bad side. So shadowing half of it is probably a really good idea. That's science right there. But thank you.
What are the things you look for when buying a new guitar?
When buying a new guitar, I'll tell you, there's one thing to look for in buying a new guitar. I've got a guitar shop called Mighty Fine Guitars, which is, I imagine, why somebody is asking that question. I think there's one primary criterion to go with, and that's, do you love the guitar beyond being able to articulate why you love the guitar? That's my criterion. I think in a shop like mine, glad you asked, again, you can just kind of walk in, play a bunch of guitars, and see which one jumps up and bites you on the butt. You know, I think that's the way to do it. As the Harry Potter kids say, the wand chooses the wizard. And that's the very best, if you can find that out. And I had that happen with the Perlman guitar. I'm pointing over there because I can feel it vibrating in the closet there. It's just got a whoo. So I'd say, you can talk about all the cool things about a guitar, the woods, the bracing. Some people want to know every last thing about the guitar, but is it totally fun to play? And if you can articulate all of the reasons that you like it, it may be a guitar for you, but it is probably not the guitar for you. Does that make any sense? Boy, I hope so, because I've said it a couple of times now. All right, well then, that's what I have to say about that. We had a couple of requests last time. I'm going to see if I can mash them all together, strangely or not. A lot of them were in the key of A minor. And because we're getting a little short on time, I'm trying to keep these things as close to half an hour as I can because a lot of people start on the half hour, and you probably have another show at 8 o'clock Pacific time to get to, so I'll try and stumble through this really quickly. Ducky, where are we in time?
46 minutes.
We're at 7:46?
I'm sorry. 7:59.
7:59? Holy smokes, I think I've just about eaten up my whole thing. But I had a request for this, so I'll try and mash a whole bunch of things together in the next 5 minutes or so. Wow, how did this happen? Because I blathered. I blame my Irish forebears. You know what? I could do that, couldn't I? Yeah. I'll do a couple of verses of this and see how we do. Suzanne, I'll have Walking in the Air for you next week, which is a lovely thing. It's really kind of a Christmassy song, but this isn't what you think it is. It was down in old Joe's barroom on the the corner by the square. The usual crowd was assembled, and Big Joe McKinney was there. He was standing at my shoulder. His eyes were bloodshot red. He turned to the crowd around him. These are the very words that he said. I went down to St. James Infirmary. I saw my baby there. She's laid out on a cold white table. So cold, so white, so fair. Let her go, God bless her. Sing if you know it. Wherever she may be, roll 'em if you got 'em. She may search this wide world over, but she'll never find a sweet man like me. When I die, bury me in a straight-laced shoes, in a high-top Stetson hat. Put a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so the boys will know that I died standing pat. I want 6 crapshooters, 4 pallbearers, a chorus girl to sing me a song. Put a jazz band on my hearse wagon. Raise hell as I roll along. Roll out your rubber-tired carriages, your old-time hacks. 12 men going to the graveyard, 11 men coming back. And now that I've told you my story, I'll take another shot of booze. And if anyone should happen to ask you, I got those gambler's blues. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm clapping for you. You're clapping for me. This is the way it should be. Thank you very much for tuning in. That's one of my favorite songs about venereal disease ever. And I'll tell you more about that next time, because that has a long history, and I'll have more cool solos and stuff to fling in there. I'm kind of enchanted with St. James Infirmary right now. My dad, all those years ago, when I got my first steel-strung guitar, he said, you ought to learn St. James Infirmary. He probably heard me working on Hesitation Blues, playing Drop the Needle on the first cut of the first side of the first Hot Tuna record. But he said, you ought to learn that song, and by God, he was right. I'm going to work on it, and I have different versions of it for you for the next few weeks, including more history on the venereal sources of the song. Interesting, but not too grotesque. And it'll be very educational. And we'll talk about something educational other than guitars and what they're made of and why you should buy one. Any other questions or comments before we toddle along? Okay, this one was kind of, thank you very much, Miss Valerie. This one was kind of cowboy-y. And like I say, check out Blackie Farrell. If you don't know Riders in the Sky, Joe Bob says, check out Riders in the Sky, fantastic band. They're a foursome now. They've added accordion probably, 30 years ago, but he's still the new guy to me, because when I first saw him, it was just the three of them. And what else was I going to tell you? I think that's it. It's my birthday tomorrow. Thank you very much. I'm turning 64. It seems preposterous. I don't know how the hell this happened, but apparently the numbers total up. And I'm a victim of circumstance. So with all that in mind, support music when you can. I had the little card up at the beginning there. If you feel like throwing a few bucks this way, I'm not going to say no. I would never say no. Thank you so much. The PayPal is just stevie@steviecoyle.com. Couldn't be simpler. Well, it could, but it isn't. It's stevie@steviecoyle.com. And if you're a Venmo person, the young people are all doing Venmo these days. And my Venmo is Mighty Fine Guitars, all one term. Check out Mighty Fine Guitars, the website, because I'm still selling guitars. Doggone it. People are still buying guitars out there. It's fantastic. It takes a little extra work to degermify everything and get those microbes battened down, but it can happen. So if there's something on the website, which is being updated daily, there's more new stuff that's not even up there yet. I'm working to get that stuff up there because it's quite remarkable, some of it. shoot me a little email, just stevie@mightyfineguitars.com. That email, actually, wait a minute. That one's being a little funky for whatever reason. You can always get me at stevie@steviecoyle.com, which just happens to be the PayPal tip jar address. Smooth segue. I think so. Thank you very much. All right. That was that. And thank you for tuning in. Had a blast, as usual. I'll be playing Friday night at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern time for those old folks back east that go to bed early. I'll be playing on a platform called stageit.com. And lots of fun over there. It's a really good, solid, stable platform. And we have a fine time over there. People passing comments to each other. People finding each other after being out of touch for years and years on that platform has happened as well, which is kind of hip. So Friday nights on Stageit. I was also going to mention that I'm doing a couple of benefits this week. If you need to go, go. I'm going to post this in the crawl below. Was there a question, Ducky? No, we're okay. All right. On Thursday night at 7 o'clock Pacific time, I'm doing a benefit for the Town Hall Theater here in Lafayette, California. Look them up on Facebook. Town Hall Theater, Lafayette, California. Totally worthy organization. Great little jewel box of a wooden little theater over there that does all kinds of stuff. Music, theater, lots of concerts, lots of rock shows. Something for everyone at the Town Hall Theater. And they could use your support as well. So that'll be Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That'll be doing that on their page. And then on Saturday afternoon, this is why I only did like 2 songs, so I could tell you about all the stuff I'm doing, so I could talk about me even more than I usually do. Saturday afternoon at noon Pacific time, I'll be on the Peghead Nation, which is a great organization. If you're not hip to Peghead Nation, it's kind of the previous, the former editorial staff of Acoustic Guitar Magazine branched off and did their own thing called Peghead Nation, like the peghead of a guitar nation. I'll be doing a workshop for them at noon, kind of answering questions. We'll jaw back and forth. We'll get into some serious esoterica over there on guitars. That's noon Saturday on Peghead Nation. Thursday night, 7 o'clock on Town Hall. And I'll be doing my regular Friday night thing on Stageit. I'm exhausted just talking. We're going to go have a nice dinner that Valerie has made for us. So down the road, and comes my favorite part of the show, the clumsy crawl up to the camera, where I fumble for the button and make perhaps even a bigger bang than I did at the outset of the show. Thanks for staying around after that, if you did. Were you here? Raise your hand.